It's now 2023 and we're just 1 month away from the shutdown of the 3DS and Wii U eShops. Assuming you're watching this before that happens. In a previous video, we provided you with a list of what apps and games you should absolutely grab before the shutdown, as well as how to add funds to your system now that the functions to do so directly to your 3DS and Wii U have been disabled. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to stop here and go check that video out while you still can. Within the span of a few months, I realized there were a few things that just kind of slipped my mind that I forgot to mention. There are other things you absolutely must download before the shutdown, as well as some other things you might want to look into that aren't as important. And that's not even factoring in a couple of things that just came up at the very last minute. So, with that said, let's not waste any more time and go through some updates. So last month I've gone full Detective Pikachu mode. People are on the fence about using Pokemon Bank before or after the eShop closes to get Poké Transporter. There's literally nothing mentioned in any of TPC's or Nintendo's FAQs regarding that part of Bank. So I hit up the contact section of Pokemon.com. Within a couple of hours, I got what feels like an automated / scripted response back. No real answers, just directing me to hit up Nintendo. So, like a lunatic, I called Nintendo. The lady who took my call was very nice and patient with trying to understand my explanation of things. She put me on hold to see if she could find any answers regarding this. Sadly, there were no answers. Apparently, there's nothing been written down on their end about Transporter. Her opinion was to try to get a hold of the Pokemon Company to see about finding a better answer, but this is where I hit a brick wall. There's no specific section to contact them regarding any 3DS games. My initial contact was through general information, the first one. So what does that leave things? Are we stuck without an answer? Actually, no, but it's not a good one, because absolutely nothing has been mentioned about Poké Transporter when it comes to the eShop. All signs are pointing to it will be unavailable to those who've not downloaded it. In order to download Poké Transporter, you need an active pass to go to a submenu that will exit to a page on the eShop that can only be accessed from Bank. The only way to get Transporter is by having an active pass in Bank. So, what to do? Well, if you're looking to stay legit, your best option is to download Bank right now and just pay the $4.99 pass in order to download Transporter. If you don't get Transporter, you'll be locked out of being able to access any Generation 1 through 5 games to move Pokemon.
One area we forgot to explore in our previous video was the 3DS theme shop. 3DS menu themes help personalize the look and feel of your 3DS the way you like, and there were a number of Pokemon related themes released over the years. These will become unavailable to purchase and download once the eShop is closed. While not every region has the exact same themes available, most of the Pokemon ones can be obtained regardless of what part of the world your 3DS is from. You can find a variety of themes based on characters and games, such as Team Plasma, Mega Mewtwo, and a few break Pokemon from the X and Y Breakthrough expansion of the TCG, Ash Greninja, Red and Green, and many more. While these aren't exactly essential, it doesn't hurt to try and get your hands on some of these to spruce up your 3DS to your liking.
Something that completely slipped my mind in the previous video, and is actually incredibly important, is the fact that because the 3DS and Wii U are pieces of hardware that connect to the internet, games released on these systems will often receive patches to update them. Whether it's to add in new content or to fix glitches, it is absolutely crucial you update your games on both of these platforms. All of the mainline Pokemon games require a patch in order to fix game-breaking glitches, connect to the internet, and actually connect with Pokemon Bank. In the case of X and Y, there was a game-breaking glitch discovered at launch where if a player were to save in certain areas of Lumiose City and quit their game, they would find their game frozen upon trying to load their save. For the 3DS, you can find updates for X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, as well as updates for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, and even Pokemon Bank. As for the Wii U, the only game to worry about updating is Pokken Tournament. The most recent update provides some balances to moves as well as containing data from previous patches that allowed online play while fixing some glitches. It's imperative you make sure that not only are your Pokemon games updated, but all of your games are as well. Otherwise, you run the risk of having games that either contain glitches that were fixed with later patches, or even games that were not able to connect online as they will not be able to do so without being up to date. Once the eShop is closed, you will not be able to download updates to games.
In a recent Nintendo Direct, several games from Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance were added to Nintendo Switch online service. While none of the first batch of games are Pokemon related, it's been confirmed that the Pokemon trading card game will be added later on. Because the service also allows you to play multiplayer games online, this also means Pokemon TCG is likely going to be a more faithful port on the Switch than it is on 3DS Virtual Console service. For whatever reason, Nintendo disabled all methods of multiplayer for the game on the 3DS, making it not only a strictly single-player experience, but also impossible to collect every card within the game, as some elements of multiplayer were needed to get every single card. So what does this mean for the mainline games? We don't know. There's currently no plans to bring those games over, and it looks like it would be impossible to have them connect with Pokemon Home if the fine print on Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2 is any indication on what to expect. But for now, it's still best not to wait out on getting any of the Generation 1 or 2 games on the 3DS.
In the previous video, we mentioned how completing the Sun and Moon special demo would net you a special Greninja with the Battle Bond ability that could be transferred into your copy of Sun or Moon, where it could transform into Ash Greninja upon activating its ability. While Greninja has recently been made available via special Terra raids in Scarlet and Violet, it's currently impossible to obtain one with Battle Bond until Pokemon Home compatibility is patched into the games. However, no one expected that Scarlet and Violet would make an incredible change to Battle Bond that seems to line up with the anime when Ash reunited with his Greninja. Battle Bond was changed so that the Pokemon with the ability no longer undergoes a transformation and instead gets a boost in attack, special attack, and speed. While this can mean the ability can eventually be given to any other Pokemon during an event and not worry about specific transformations, it also means that Greninja will no longer change into its Ash Greninja form outside of Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon. So be sure to think carefully about if you want to transfer your Battle Bond Greninja towards future generations, if you value the Ash Greninja form, as it likely won't be returning due to the anime retconning it and the anime coming to an end. And on one final note, I've been asked quite a bit about Pokemon Bank and Poké Transporter since the last video, so I'll try to keep this short and simple. You cannot download either Bank or Transporter once the eShop closes. If you've downloaded either of them prior to the closure, they don't stop functioning once the eShop closes. You must download both before March 27th, 2023 in order to keep them. If you've downloaded them before but deleted them to make space on your 3DS, you can re-download them so long as the account used is still on the same 3DS. And with that, that'll be it for today. We want to thank everyone who's watched and spread the word about our last video. We'd appreciate it if you all could like that one and this video as well. Subscribe if you can, because we've got quite a bit in the works that we hope you all enjoy.